So, we're back on the road again. As much as I disliked this city when we first arrived, compared to the cold and dark of Icewind Dale's frozen wastelands, Bryn Shander is the closest thing to a paradise you can get up here. Hrun and her group are leading the way towards the Dwarven Valley per our agreement, but we've heard tale of the dead on the Cairn running amok. I'm apprehensive about dealing with the undead again, but a job's a job. Guess we'll see which way the wind blows on today's short quest, long rest.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Been a while.
Hello.
Glad to have you back at the table.
Us too. We're so happy.
Let's do a bit of a recap. Since this is the first time we've been able to sit down for a month, we skipped our last session.
I've been told you're supposed to get new tires and never recap.
Oh, are we gonna retread? We can retread,
See,
recap.
now that was one that Eric could have got upset at. That was a shitty joke.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I'm upset currently. Status.
Well-
upset.
I'll update my status.
Time to not be upset because, as you may remember, last time you guys had left the town of Bryn Shander, accompanying a trio of dwarves that you had retrieved some iron ingots for, as they headed westward on the road to Targos. 2 hours of travel under the perpetual twilight, that is the aurora, the ribbon of it waving overhead. Bit of banter going back and forth between your parties. A bit of a scare on a dragon-fearing dwarf from one Caladernathera, as she floated next to his ear, snapping her jaws in his,
Yeah, that was messed up.
ear. Yeah.
Nubbin?
A little bit of a shit. I wonder who encouraged her to do that.
I wonder.
That's a good question.
All eyes looking to Felgren.
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't control her at all.
There is some truth to that. In the end, he did call her off, if I'm not mistaken. It just after a little bit.
Yeah, after he was, properly unnerved.
Yeah. Just keep him on his toes.
So, in the brilliant twilight, with the aurora shifting colors like a shimmering curtain overhead, find yourselves cresting a bit of a hill on the way to Targos, and you're able to see the fortified town lying beneath you. It is guarded by a wooden wall, a palisade, built to protect the town from orcs and other threats of this frozen wilderness. However, whereas Bryn Shander sort of stands alone, Targos sits on the edge of a lake, and that wall actually extends out onto the lake, forming a sort of protective harbor. You can see a myriad of boats in that harbor, all of them locked in ice. There are a few boats further out on the lake where the ice becomes icy water. All of them smaller vessels. Anything larger trapped in that harbor. And as you are standing on the hill, you have the road leading northward to your right, the one that guides you to Tourmaline. Or you could take the gentle slope down to Targos and explore that way, and perhaps even to Bremen beyond. So, as the dwarves kind of shuffle to a halt and look to your group to see what you're going to do, what is the decision here?
Do we need to stop in town?
Is this or is this not the place with the great white dreaded moose?
No, that's up in Lonelywood.
Then I do not. Yeah, then I don't care about this place.
Nice.
I want that moose so bad.
Yeah, so
But on a supplies front, I'm fine.
yeah, me too. So if they want to push on to Tourmaline, we're perfectly fine with rolling with them.
Yes, sir.
All right. It is a 4-hour trip towards Tourmaline, which you guys have only just left Bryn Shander, so really not that much of a stretch. 6 hours of travel.
Yeah, it's so different
You
than
are
the
about-
days that we were traveling before. It's like-
Yeah. Oh, especially like going through deep snow. Here on
Mhm.
the roads, even though you are on foot, they're at least clear enough that travel's not comfortable. Nothing is comfortable in Icewind Dale, but comparatively more comfortable. But you are about an hour up the road when you hear a loud barking to your west off the road in the direction of the lake.
Felgrin would at least look in that direction.
Yeah. But like, what the hell is that? Is that a dog?
It is indeed a dog. You hear this very loud bark before you see the animal. It's carried on the wind, this very icy breeze that's blowing off the lake. And bounding through the snow towards the party is a wolf-sized sled dog with light gray fur dragging a broken leather harness behind it. It is currently making with all speed through the thick snow towards your party. What are you guys doing?
I think I'd kind of drop down and kind of pat on my lap, like how people do with dogs. Like, come here, boy, come here. Do a little whistle to him, which I won't do into the mic.
Alright. The dog continues to bound forward and almost straight into you, almost his huge body nearly bowling you over as he barrels into you. Licks on the face, just obviously wagging his tail, kind of doing that thing where dogs sit on the ground and are trying to, crane their neck to just lick the face.
Oh boy, oh jeez, oh okay, you're a friendly fella, aren't you? Oh gosh, okay, where'd you come from? Is this you say he's got like a broken harness? You said, right?
He does, like a sled dog's harness.
Well, you belong to somebody.
The straps of it have clearly torn.
Huh. Yeah, you belong to somebody.
What are the rest of you guys doing?
I think Felgrin's keeping his eyes on the direction the dog came from.
Roll me a perception check.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, 4. Attaboy,
4.
starting off hot.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Good night, everybody.
I mean, the path that the dog made through the snow is about the only thing you can distinguish in this low twilight and the lake beyond. There's no other movement out there in the icy blackness. Aside from this dog who's whimpering and still very happily thumping his tail on the ground, just kind of getting all up in our boy's face here.
Yeah. I think I'd kind of, just talking to it, and I'd be like, where you come from, boy? Like, where's your master?
Probably dead.
I don't need to jump to that conclusion.
Else would the dog be free?
Can I crouch down next to the dog
No, you're not allowed.
and reach over and touch the dog?
I smack his hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks at you and kind of does a double take and then sniffs at the extended hand that you've offered, wood and metal, cold in this frosty weather. But he's licking it and kind of, not sure what to make of it, whether it's a hand for petting or a toy for
Yeah,
chewing.
he starts gnawing on it. Just,
I'll boop him on the nose, and I'm going to cast Beast Bond.
Okay. What does that do again? Let's,
I think you just stole somebody's dog.
Beast Spawn. Establish a telepathic link with one beast you touch that is friendly to you or charmed.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's grab our boy. Oh. By the way, as you are closer to both of you kind of crouching next to this dog, on the harness, You can see around the neck there, where a collar would typically be, is a small patch that's been stitched on, with a name in common that, as you're kind of looking at it in the dim light, does indeed read boy.
Boy?
It's a good boy.
He's a good boy. Jeez.
Well, that's
Who's
his
a
name.
good boy?
Yes, hi, boy.
Alright. So it's a wisdom save on Beast Spawn?
It is not a save at all if it is
Oh.
Yeah, if he's willing, if he's nice. They say if he's friendly.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, charmed or friendly.
Oh yeah, no, so you feel in that touch your minds linking together. And the dog kind of pauses for a moment and gives a whimpering whine as he now starts leaning into Dreamer there. And seems to have calmed down a little, but is still whimpering anxiously.
What is wrong, boy?
Through the telepathic link that you've made with this creature, you get a sensation of fear and loneliness. Very briefly, you get a flash of a handsome-looking gentleman, kind of a younger guy, maybe in his early 30s, dark hair, a smile on his face, and the dog whimpers as he is projecting this image to you and grabs your hand gently between his teeth and starts tugging you in the direction that he had previously come from.
I guess I'm gonna go find his master.
Must we?
Wait a minute. Is the dog trying to lead you? Is that what he's doing?
I assume so.
Then yeah. If he knows where he is, if he's in danger, we should go help him. Oh, stop it, Grin.
Alright.
You always act like you
dead.
don't want to do these things.
He's dead.
You don't know that. He's definitely dead if we don't go help him.
Oh my god.
Alright, so as this dog is leading you off the road, tugging you towards the lake, in the dark, you can now faintly make out a very narrow trail through the snow that the dog hadn't broken through. This is like somebody had shoveled their driveway. And down a slope on the shore of the lake, you see a small house with the lights on inside. It was hard to see because it was on the other side of a very low hill from you.
Maybe not dead. Or maybe heart attack.
It's a possibility.
The dog leads you to the front door and starts barking and scratching at the wood.
Is there a window?
There is.
Felgren's going to look in the window.
Inside, you see a man that is about mid-30s or so. Kind of handsome. Dark eyes. Very clearly having just been woken up, struggling to get out of his bed and make his way to the door. Those of you who are still beside the dog feel a blast of warmth as he pushes this door open and the dog races inside. The man at the door, kind of grinding the heel of his palm into his eyes, has a big grin on his face until he sees the party. And that smile falters a little. Boy, what are you doing here without Garrett? Something happened.
Yeah,
He's looking at the party here.
Yeah, who's Garrett? Your dog came bounding up to us on the road, and then led us back here. It looks like his harness has been ripped. Who's Garrett?
As you say that, and he kind of gives the dog another look, who has currently just sat down in the middle of the floor, very obviously at home, watching the party and this man inside anxiously. Garrett is my husband. He was hired by some adventurers to lead him up Kelvin's Cairn. Are you them?
No, we are not. We just came from Bryn Shander. We're actually on our way that way now.
Aha. Well, come inside, please. It's cold.
Yes, it is.
And he kind of steps aside and motions you into this, what is a very small one-room hut, but you could see that the bed itself is about double wide for two people to lie in. Coming indoors, there is climbing gear sort of hanging from the walls. There's a couple of mounted trophies and the like. Very much a rugged outdoorsman's place with signs of a fishing lifestyle. Perhaps they go out ice fishing or something, but he beckons you all in. What are you guys doing?
Is this the same man that the dog tried to show me?
This is not the same man that the dog tried to show you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Felgren's gonna go inside.
Yeah, I think reluctantly Rian is, but I think he's kind of going to be given kind of a what's the word? A protest. Aren't we worried that if this dog's here, where might your husband be? Could he possibly be like as he's walking inside? He's like, would he be stranded without this dog? Like what?
As you're asking that, this man closes the door to kind of keep the warmth in, and is rubbing his hands together anxiously. Yeah, boy here was Garrett's favorite. Raised him from a pup. I don't think he would have gone anywhere without him alone unless something terrible happened. He seems to be having a real hard time kind of processing the dog's presence here without his master.
Yeah, I think he'd kind of put his hand on him and be like, calm down. Do you know what route they took? Do you know where they were heading towards the Cairn?
He's kind of tapping his forehead with his middle finger in this thoughtful gesture. They were leaving from Cairn, I think. There's an outfitters there. They would have gotten more climbing gear. He doesn't have enough here.
Oh, jeez. That's on the other side of the dale.
Can I mean, you said you're going up there.
Aye. Yeah, we are heading towards Kelvin Cairn, stopping off at Tourmaline.
Yeah, a bit. Not exactly there, but towards it, I suppose.
If you go, I don't... Can I ask you to go find him and his companions? I don't have money, but the proprietor over at the Luskin Arms in town is a friend of mine. I could get you free rooms. I do scrimshander. I could trade a little.
Who are you?
Sorry, it's hard to think of introductions when your husband's dog comes back without him. My name is Keegan, Velrun.
Hello, I am Davini.
Hi, Tavini. And he very awkwardly kind of offers a hand to you, extending it downward.
She takes it and pats it with her other hand, and she goes, We will try to find your husband, Keegan.
Garrett, yeah.
Aye. Yeah, if we come across him. Do you know how many days ago he left?
This would have been maybe 2 days ago.
And it...
I left here with some sled dogs.
Aye. By your, estimation, how long would it take your dog to run all the way from from Kelvin's Cairn to here?
Is real... I mean, if he stuck to the roads, maybe a day.
Okay, so he's not that far out. Okay. Aye, we'll definitely keep an eye open for him as we go.
I mean, thank you. Is there anything I could provide you if you're going to be doing this for me?
Doesn't sound like there's much you can provide us.
Yeah, not to be, rude about it or anything, but yeah, unfortunately. Unless you happen to have another set of sled dogs or something that we could use, but...
I don't, but if you need them, I guess the only place I could think of is Frozen Far Expeditions, but that's all the way up in Cairn, and, that's... He kind of gestures vaguely to the south and then the southwest, like having to go all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
I don't suppose you have a friend there as well.
No connections there. Just in town here.
Felgren's checked out and is warming his hands by the fire.
Nice.
So, Garrett left here 2 days ago?
Yeah, a few days. Time's a little... And he kind of motions his hand back and forth and motions towards the sky out the window.
So he left from here 2 days.
With sled dogs. Yeah. Boy here being one of them. And hearing his name, the dog's ears kind of, twitch forward.
Does the dog look hungry?
Roll me an insight check.
Oh, man, I'm really picking him.
You'll be alright, bud. I believe in
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Oh, no! Fucking do!
Yeah, he really has checked out. He doesn't care at all. He's whatever.
He's like, dog hungry? Whatever, dog's hungry.
Dog looks like
Yeah,
dog.
okay.
Yeah.
Just keeps warming his hands.
Definitely a dog.
He just shrugs.
Like, okay. Well, don't know when the next time we're gonna be back this way, but we'll look for your husband, and yeah, if you want to put in a good word for us with the tavern owner, then we might come back around at some point and might be useful. But in the meantime, we'll look for him. Keep our eyes open, and I do apologize. One thing I could think is, do we want to ask to take the dog? Like, he might help us track him down. He's gonna know what the dude smells like and stuff. So
You asking that out of character?
yeah, that's me. Out of character.
Definitely take the dog.
Yeah,
100%.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, they're like, what? It's like I hate to ask this of you because I know he's important to you, but boy here, do you think it'd be wise if maybe we took him with us, as we can maybe help track him down? Seems like a good boy. Seems like he knows how to found his way all the way here. So
Every time you say his name, the dog is like fixating on you. But Keegan, nods very sharply. Yeah, no, whatever you think would help. Garrett is the best survivalist I know out here. He's got to be alive out there.
Aye.
I don't know why Boy would run back, but
He said he was at Kelvin's Cairn, right?
yeah,
I guess
he leads
I
expeditions.
guess I should say this in the Felgren voice. Isn't he kind of hold on? He holds up a finger, pulls Rian aside. Isn't that the place that's overrun with undead?
Yeah, we heard that is where we heard rumor that there might be undead up there. But
Survivalist or not,
he might be in trouble.
dead.
He might be dead too, but I mean, we actually have a package we have to deliver up there anyways.
Just saying, this might be. You might want to temper expectations a bit.
I don't know. Okay.
Do you want me to do it?
No, I can handle it. And
He
he'll
just
kind
nods.
of pull himself away, and he'll walk over to Keegan. Yeah, Keegan, and he'll put a hand on his shoulder and be like, Keegan, I want to prepare you just in case. I know you say Garrett's a survivalist expert, but we've heard rumor that up on Kelvin's Cairn there are a host of undead, and even the greatest survival experts can have trouble. Hell, even I have trouble. You can ask. You can ask Grin and Krellic here.
He just closes his eyes slowly and nods.
About it. Yeah, even I have trouble with undead, but not laughing as I say it. But I just want you to be ready, just in case. Either way, we will deliver any information we find, but we'll do our best to bring him back whole and safe. If he's alive, we'll find him and bring him back for you.
Thank you. No, really, take the dog. I can pack you meals or something.
We may not need the dog. I have seen Garrett's face.
Yes, but you can't track him by scent, can you?
Well, I probably could, actually.
Well, he hasn't
As you
smelled
say-
Garrett. I don't know how you would do it.
As you say the name Garrett, Boy whines in this very anxious tone for a dog, and Dreamer, you catch a glimmer because you are connected with him telepathically, a flicker of that face again, and a burst of fear and loneliness from the animal. And Boy gets up from where he was sitting in the middle of the floor and starts anxiously pacing back and forth in front of the door.
This dog wants to find its owner. That much is clear.
I think it'd be best, even if you can do it yourself, Dreamer. I think bringing the dog along just in case might be a good idea. It's like he already knows his scent. I guarantee he's going to take us right to him. If he's smart enough to find his way all the way back home from up there.
He's also enormous. He could bite things for us.
You did say it was a wolf-sized dog.
Yeah, Tavini's kind of staying a little away from the dog who's bigger than her.
I can't
We
blame
could
you.
saddle him for you.
Yeah, Tavini, Boy is a medium-sized being. So yeah, he is indeed, when I say wolf-sized, he's got the lanky legs, but the bulk of a sled dog. Very much has those clear wild roots that those breeds have.
It's like a fucking dire wolf.
Yeah, you come up to about his shoulder at your height.
Yeah, she's staying back just a little bit and observing all of this.
Well, time is of the essence.
Hi. Hey, boy. Want to go for a run?
We may not be able to keep up.
He kind of bounces up on his hind legs towards the door and starts barking.
It was more of a figurative run. I'm not going out sprinting in the this fucking this landscape. So they're like, okay, Keegan, just hold down the fort. If somehow he comes back without us, then that's fantastic. And do us a favor, if Boy comes back without us all alone, hire some adventurers to come looking for us. Just tell them that we have all types of magical items on us, and it's definitely worth their time to come find us. Trust me,
He
it
kind
gets
of
them every time.
raises a quizzical eyebrow at you.
He kind of shakes his head. He's like, "We don't have magical items." Like,
Speak for yourself.
I'll keep that to myself.
hey, exactly. He kind of taps on his nose, like, "There you go." And they're like, "Okay, well, unless anybody's got some more questions, I say we hit the road."
I think Velgrin just flicks his hood back up, shakes his head.
It just became a rescue mission. It's on the way, so hey, everybody. 2 birds, 1 stone.
All right. So, are we heading out from here?
Yeah, I'd say we're heading out, and I guess we can discuss it, but I think for now at least, we skip Tourmaline, because we can double back. If it's only 4 hours from Targos to Tourmaline, then we're talking maybe a day's journey total up to Kelvin's Cairn and back. So, like, maybe a day there and a day back, if that. So I'm thinking, we can hook back around if we need to.
Yeah, if you're moving overland, let me pull up our rules for travel here. Speed.
Yeah, by road, was it 8 miles per hour? No, it wasn't. 4 miles per hour, was it?
Yes, distance per hour is 4 miles. With the snows, you are looking at, to Targos, about 4 hours of travel. That would be, here we go. Wilderness survival and travel.
Oh, is that when we go off-road towards the Cairn?
Yeah, this is overland travel. By dog sled, you can make a distance of 1 mile per hour.
Ooh, half mile per hour.
On foot with snowshoes, you're going about half a mile an hour.
Yep, that's gonna be tough. That means we're gonna average like 4 miles an hour, which means, or 4 miles a day. So that's like a full day's journey up to Kelvin's Cairn.
My moose!
Don't worry, we're coming back for that moose. But
My moose!
because I really want
the dreaded moose of the lonely
want
hood.
that moose!
I know it's super interesting, and I really want to do it, but we got a guy that might be dead. So
Plus,
Or dying.
Velgrin here's the lonely wood. He's gotta visit it.
And you know what we could do? If we somehow pull off, and this is all meta speaking, but if we end up pulling off Kelvin's Cairn, and I think we also heard about some treasures up there and shit too, we get something good that we can sell. We come back to Caer Konig, where they just told us there are dog sleds. Now all of a sudden, we're making fucking time around here. We can get our hands on like a dog team and sleds and actually move around this place a lot quicker, and at some point we're gonna need them, because there's no friggin' way we're going up to the glacier without a sled and dogs. We're like, I'm not saying it's insta death, but it's not looking great. You see how huge that is, like, and how long it is up there. It's like 40 miles, and we can do like 4 miles a day. We'd spend like 2 weeks just going up there, and 2 weeks coming back. We'd have to just load up with food and supplies, and who knows how many friggin' encounters we have along the way. So
Oh, it's gonna be a hell
We
of a
need to get
trip.
a fucking like hot air balloon.
there you go. Can we get an airship? Let's get an airship.
Yeah. Where's Sid? Where's Sid Highwind at?
I'll consider it.
Bring him in here.
Give Tavini like 2 years and maybe she could build one.
There you go.
All right. So, as you open the door to step out, Boy kind of weaves between your legs and out into the snow. And as you step outside again, you catch a whiff of tobacco smoke, and the 3 dwarves that are traveling with you, one of them has lit a pipe, and they just seem to be kind of passing it around, chatting in Dwarvish, waiting for you to emerge.
They talking shit, or are they just talking?
Seeing as you understand Dwarvish, no, they just seem to be discussing the weirdness of encountering a loose dog on the road, talking about how long they think everyone's going to be inside, though conversation swiftly changes to, oh, well, it looks like they're coming back when you step outside. So, no, not talking shit.
Good. They seem like good folk. They liked us. So, I didn't think they would. But, yeah, I think we'd walk up to them and be like, so, we got something extra we've just taken on. Apparently a missing person up in Kelvin's Cairn that we've signed on to try to help, which seems to kind of be our thing. Wherever we go, we pick up new jobs. But,
yes, I hate it.
But I assumed you guys weren't stopping over. Were you guys planning on stopping over in Tourmaline? Or are you going straight up to the Dwarven Valley to hook up with the dwarves up there?
Hruna sort of stamps her feet in the cold and rubs her hands together with that pipe sticking between her teeth. And when she plucks it out to speak, that raspy voice just ruined from years of smoking reaches you.
I was thinking I would go see my cousin up there, but if you're all heading to the northeast, the valley, I can make some introductions.
Hey, well, that would be helpful. Do you guys make normal excursions into Kelvin's Cairn, or is that kind of a more off limits place?
Honestly, the dwarves of the valley, they live underground, so they don't get out much. We're kind of unusual in that regard.
Understood. Just wondering, I'm saying, because that's where apparently this fella was heading. Was up Kelvin's Cairn, which is one of our stops along our way also, so I guess that at least works out. But,
if that's just a stop, where are you going next?
Well, honestly, at some point, we're supposed to be getting up to the Ragged Glacier, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one, as far as how we go about that. That's one of our last deliveries. Don't suppose you know anybody that frequents the area? Maybe a group or someone that might help take people up there, type thing. Sherpa, if you will.
She looks thoughtful for a moment and then shakes her head.
We don't do business with many folk outside the valley.
From what I understand, there's not a whole lot up there to even go for, so sure not a lot of many people make the trip.
She kind of nods and then gives a brief whistle that's sort of almost gravelly from her voice and jerks her head to the road, and the other two start stomping along ahead of her.
So we should go?
Aye. Yeah, we should probably get back on the road.
Right.
Alrighty. So, back on the road.
I'm gonna slip Boy a good berry.
See that thing dogs do? It's like, blah.
He laps it eagerly out of your hand, and the saliva, the spittle that is left on your palm, freezes with little foamy bubbles on your
gross.
Inorganic skull. Yeah. I just say freezes on your, I was about to say skin, but your palm. Freezes upon your palm in the cold.
The spittle on your wood. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
just spit in the palm and...
No.
Oh,
okay.
no.
I don't know why I start these things.
I'll happily finish them.
I knew tonight was going to be a good night.
Yep.
So you travel for about an hour more up the road there before the option to either continue on to Tourmaline or turn towards the valley presents itself. The dwarves start trudging in their very slow but determined way to the northeast. Your travel is halved as far as speed goes as you're trying to work your way through the snow. People like Tavini, light enough to be able to actually sort of walk atop of it. You hardly leave an impression as you go, aside from the print of your snowshoes. There's no obvious sign of someone larger aside from those having passed through where you walk. Miri, on your shoulder, seeming to grow heavier as you are now exerting yourself in the snow, having to trudge along.
Oof.
It is a pretty hard struggle with her additional weight on you.
Like, oh, sweetie, you don't suppose you could hop down and walk next to me or behind me for a little bit, do you? You're getting big.
Miri obliges, though you can almost sense her reluctance to leave the warmth of your shoulder for the cold of the snows. She falls into step besides Tavini and kind of does that thing, where cats, when they're traveling through the snow, instead of walking, they kind of hop along, trying to avoid it as much as they can.
Footstep to footstep type thing.
Yeah. Very much letting you do the work of actually breaking up the snow ahead of her before she bounds along.
The question is, do we even go to Tourmaline, or we just cut off and go straight towards the Dwarven Valley?
Oh, I thought the assumption was, are you heading to Tourmaline, or are
well,
you
that's what
going
I was asking everybody. That was kind of just me throwing it out there. Well, the dwarves are cutting off, right? They're going straight to the Dwarven Valley. They're not, right?
Yeah, the dwarves are heading straight to the valley.
Yeah, that's probably what we should do then. But I just didn't want to speak for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to find this guy alive, I don't think we can.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. If we don't go straight,
Yeah,
this isn't one of those.
I think Felgren would look longingly down that road to town.
Yeah,
But
it does the Great White Buffalo.
yeah,
Great White Buffalo.
but you would follow along.
All right. You trudge across the snow for several hours until the mound of the Cairn beyond, it's been growing gradually larger as you get closer. But now you're starting to see the terrain at its base, the narrow cleft of the Dwarven Valley extending towards you from the base of the Cairn. As you start to enter the valley and those walls rise up on either side of you, you can see distinct signs of Dwarven occupation. There are holes, tunnel entrances on either side, and you can faintly hear the ringing of hammers, almost as if feeling them rising up from below your feet. As you walk, Runa sort of motions to some of the tunnel entrances.
The dwarves work a lot underground here. You're not gonna see many folk unless they've sent out a patrol. I think we'll be parting shortly.
So we're parting from them? Where are they heading?
Well, they're not going all the way to the Cairn with you.
Oh no, okay. I guess. So where do the dwarves live? For some reason I thought it was like the Dwarven Valley kind of led up to the Cairn, like as if we could stop by the dwarves on the way up there. Is that not the case?
The dwarves are under your feet currently.
Oh, gotcha. So we have to go through the valley to the Cairn, and we'd have to hook around and find. Okay, I get you. There's an entrance somewhere around there to. Well, how?
There are tunnels everywhere.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to think because we're about to hit the limit of how far we can go in a day, right? We got to be getting pretty close with as much as we can trudge. I'm just thinking maybe we stay with the dwarves tonight.
It is a struggle to continue to travel. Yeah. And, in the last hour or so, that aurora has begun to fade from the sky, and you can now only catch a faint glimmer of color.
So what do y'all think? I'm thinking there's really no point not to. Just duck into these tunnels with them and stay with the dwarves tonight, and then...
Yeah, see, that's if they allow us.
That's true, but I was hoping that, with us helping out, we did the whole, brought the cart back and thing. And
no, we didn't help the people that are under our feet, who I would
imagine...
imagine...
Not the same?
Is Is this a discussion you guys are having in the
No,
open? Or
I mean,
is
I
this
would have
out of
done it.
character?
Yeah. You're assuming that they let us stay.
Well, why, Runa, do you think the dwarves would turn us away? I mean, I assumed we helped you out there. That was kind of the point, I thought, was that, we helped them, they give us, they help us when we come up this way,
Oh, yeah, no, we can offer you shelter.
Hey, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Battlehammer Hold is about an hour's further in.
That's the western side, and she sort of motions towards the western face of the valley that you're traveling along.
Some small families live down here, but the Hold is where most of my clan live.
Aye. I mean, unless anybody has any objection, I mean, if they're willing to put us up for tonight, I'm thinking staying here might be the safest bet, and pushing on, if there really is the adversity that we're thinking we're going to run into up there, I don't know if I want to be exhausted when we step foot in there.
Well,
If
yeah.
there's undead that way, I'd rather be rested.
It's better than outside.
And we're all seeing on the same page there. Okay. Well, Runa, yeah, if you would lead the way, we'd graciously accept your hospitality tonight.
All right. Runa and the others continue to lead you onward. And just as she had said, about an hour's travel into the valley, and you could still hear, the ringing of work deep under the ground. And it doesn't seem that the dwarves, like the people on the surface, have lost their sense of night and day. Just constant craftsmanship. But you gradually find yourself at the foot of what appears to be a switchback, leading about 60 feet above to where there is a large landing on the cliff and a tunnel that leads deeper in. She guides you up this path and inside, and as the sky disappears and you have just tunnel roof above, you travel for about 30 feet or so before a pair of large stone doors stretches across the tunnel mouth. There are a quartet of dwarves standing guard outside, all of them dressed in very heavy furs, wearing very, very fine equipment for battle. And there is a brief bark of an exchange between himself and Runa, which you, Krellick, would understand as a greeting to Runa. Like, hey, welcome back! Who are these?
You just kind of watch them for now.
Runa leads you to the doors and sort of motions vaguely towards a man on her left, the one that had shouted a greeting.
Might I introduce you here to one of my fellow clansmen?
Where'd I have his name? Come on! This is my first time ever not having a name ready.
You fool.
My... God damn it. Da-da-da.
Random
Blarg.
generator. Go.
No, I have it.
Blarg Stout Butt.
Dwarven God number 3.
Out, but
Dwarf number 3.
Yep.
God damn it.
Yep. But it's spelled different. It's like Dwarf, DWERF is his first name, and then it's like NUBA, like Nubba 3.
All right.
It's Dwarf.
We're gonna
Dwarf Nubba 3.
Take 2. Runa motions towards him.
And this is my friend Bomber.
Ooh.
Yes.
Bomber Battlehammer,
Ooh.
one of the clan here.
And he kind of tips his head, and he's a kind of a younger dwarf. His beard has a lot of blonde in it, though there is some streaks of black, and you can see that he's sort of braided those very neatly, and you, Krellick, can kind of almost tell just by looking at him that he has greased those sections of his beard so that they do have that black color. They are a little stiffer and shinier than the rest of his hair, definitely not natural. And looking at some of the other dwarves who have lighter colored beards on either side, standing watch on the door, you can see they have done the same. Kind of a fashion statement, if you will, that you have never seen before.
I eat kids these days.
You say that out loud?
Yeah, why not?
Balmer he gives you a double take. Right, I suppose you're gonna be wanting inside then, and he you can almost see the color, definitely not from the cold, rising on his cheeks under that beard, in the presence of a older dwarf.
Yep. Crotchety old
as
dwarf.
his buddies and him, they give a great bang on the doors, and you can hear vaguely through the stone the sound of grunting, and then the two of them sort of shove their shoulder into the door and start pushing it open, and you can hear grunts and curses as it cracks, getting louder. And as you are led inside by Hruna, you can see there is a very, very large oaken beam that has been sort of tossed to one side, and a pair of dwarves are pulling open the door from the inside. They wait for you to enter before pushing it shut again, and putting that oaken bar back in place.
I think Rian would actually kind of look around almost in awe. And be like, I have never actually been in a Dwarven fortress before. This is something new. This is impressive. You see the size of those damn doors.
Krullik's having a hard time of what to think at the moment.
As you enter, the tunnel that you had come down towards these stone doors, the double doors that they had just opened, had been completely natural. Rough-hewn, couple of stalactites hanging, icicles among those. Interior. It is a change as sharp as from day to night. The tunnels have all been squared off and smoothed away. The walls are etched, engraved with depictions of dwarves at battle, whether it be with orcs, with yetis, climbing the cairn, wrestling. There are myriad depictions of sport and dwarven prowess as you descend deeper into this fortress. It is arranged for those of you with any sort of military background in a way that is familiar, that is comfortable. You pass the entrance of an outpost where a couple of guards are standing watch. There is a ringing from a section somewhere off to your right, out of sight, of metalworking, and you can see the glow of forges from around the corner there. Hruna takes you deeper inside and continues to talk as you go.
We're gonna be taking you to speak to Stokely. The Dane here usually likes to meet newcomers.
So who's Stokely?
Stokely Silverstream. He leads us down here. The head of the shield dwarves in the Dwarven Valley.
Said it was Silverstream?
Silverstream, yeah.
Okay, Silverstream. Just making sure.
Krullik doesn't even seem to hear. He's busy looking down like every tunnel they pass by. He's very fidgety at the moment.
How tall is the tunnel?
It extends to about 20 feet overhead.
Okay.
Oh, you're thinking you're
No,
gonna be
you are
ducking?
not. You are not butting you're not ducking your head in here.
Nice.
It seems that underground they've kind of extended upwards needlessly, almost creating themselves a bit of an artificial sky. Strangely, the dwarfs that you see shuffling around, as you head in deeper, you're seeing more and more signs of civilians. And whereas on the surface, the people of the towns seem beaten down by the cold and the extended darkness, it strikes you that there's an air of normality here. That the people are living comfortable lives out of sight from the perpetual darkness and the bitter cold from above.
Interesting.
It's a little jarring of a comparison. But you are led deeper within to eventually a long hall decorated with solid columns on either side, again etched with presentations of dwarven prowess.
It's like a giant pat on
There's
the
a-
back in here.
Big old circle jerk.
Yeah, I mean he would try to say it quietly, but I imagine that his voice would bounce off the walls.
Yeah. Look at these dwarfs and their circle jerk, circle jerk, circle jerk.
He wouldn't even think about it. He would just say it, you know.
Every single dwarf just turns to look
Yeah.
at the tiefling.
Fucking record scratches.
He said Turklenurk. It's a dwarf we knew back in Bryn Shander.
Definitely didn't say circle jerk at any point.
But yeah, I think Rian is like almost fascinated with the paintings on the wall and stuff, and just how, because he thought it was cool walking into just the rough hewn like tunnel, and when all of a sudden he like sees this like well decorated like hallways and stuff, he's just like stoked out and, you know, super excited and be like, look at this, oh my goodness. And you think even run his hand over the mural just to like feel it, and like, Tavini, you see this? Look at this. Look at how crazy this looks. This is beautiful.
Tavini's just sketching.
And Hruna is kind of like glancing at Tavini as she walks and leans over a little.
You know, the rare visitors we have, they usually just do rubbings. It saves them a lot of work.
My book is not big enough.
That's a fair point.
She holds up her journal, which is like, it looks kind of big to her, but if you held it up in a dwarf's hand, it would probably be a bit smaller.
Pushes the book against the wall. He doesn't work.
I stand corrected. You're doing...
She kind of gives like an okay symbol and keeps walking. After a few minutes, you are brought to a long hall, columns on either side, and a long carpet with ornate geometric designs in a deep red with contrasting yellows and blues in it. They approach and ascend a low set of stairs with a square stone throne, which oddly, compared to the rest of this place, is itself unadorned. It is a imposing slab of regular angles, almost sharp enough to cut your gaze on looking at it too much. Instead of being a sort of ornate declaration of dwarven martial superiority, it's almost as if by the regular shape of this throne, they are touting their skill as craftsmen for being able to do something so perfect.
See what I mean?
Grin. Just,
Am I wrong?
I mean, you're not 100% wrong.
Tell
Just
me.
keep your voice down. Do you want to sleep out in the snow?
No.
Then just roll with it for now. It's okay. We'll talk later, okay? When we're back on the road.
There's a dwarf seated in that very rectangular block of a throne.
Just staring at us.
At the far end of the hall is kind of leaning to one side against an arm, his elbow propped up on one of the arms of the seat, not paying any attention to those who have just entered, instead talking to a young dwarven woman beside him, quietly. You can hear dimly the murmurs in Dwarvish, but not enough to make them out. However, she catches sight of the group that has entered the hall and jerks her chin towards you and takes a step back. The man seated, a dwarf with a steel gray beard, with those black streaks of grease in the beard that have been braided to kind of stiffen them and make them stand out in the pale hair, sort of sits up a little taller in the seat and leans back. Who approaches the seat of the Dane?
Is Hruna with us? I'd be kind of like, are you supposed to introduce us?
Hruna's with you,
Okay, like, are you supposed to
and
introduce us? Are we supposed
she
to
is
introduce us?
she's standing off to one side with the others, and all three of them have just like perfectly neutral expressions, and they're looking anywhere but at you.
Huh.
Felgren shoves you forward.
Okay. Okay. Oh, hey there. Hello. Hello. My name is Rian Stormlight. This is our group of delivery persons here just to say hey and possibly stay the night.
It's a
Yeah?
mistake. Shoving you forward.
you put him on the spot.
Say hey.
Yeah.
That's the best you could come up with.
Well, yeah, I couldn't be smooth because you pushed him forward, so you had to like stumble over it. It's more fun that way.
Amazing.
As you speak, the Dane leans forward as if to hear you better, and a hand comes up and strokes one of those black greased braids.
His hand or just a hand?
His hand, I should say. Smart ass.
It's a bodied hand. Just comes in from off.
A mage
it was the lady
hand
that
from
was
some
standing next to
unseen
him.
caster.
The lady next to him just like reaches.
No,
over
he
and starts
summoned
scraping
He
his
summoned Mage Hand to do it for him.
Remember we were making a joke about circle jerk. This is perfect. Anyways. Continue. My bad. I couldn't help myself on that one.
No, it's alright, it's alright. So he sort of leans forward and is stroking that beard with a hand that is very clearly attached to his body.
Yes. That's good. These are details we need.
Yeah, let me put that in my notes.
And then, with a quick glance to the trio of dwarves standing beside you, his expression stern, he slaps a palm on the arm of his seat loud enough for you to hear it all the way over there. This sort of almost wet thunk on the stonework. And his face breaks out into a very broad grin. Oh, I'll be surprised if that ain't the most interesting introduction I've had in this hall in years. Step forward. Come here. I need a better look at you. My eyes are not so strong as they were.
I think he's just like, whew, okay. Like a little relieved that actually went over a little bit, so he steps forward.
The trio off to the side, who'd been just kind of looking anywhere but at you guys, Hruna has sort of broken into a broad grin. a little bit pleased with herself, and obviously satisfied with Rian's introduction.
I think the hand slap would have made Krellick come back to reality.
Like, oh, welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, I think Felgren would remove his hood at that point.
The Dane, as you approach, stands up from his seat and comes down the steps, and he doesn't descend all the way to the floor with you, but stays high enough on those steps
So he's
that he is at least at the same eye level as Dreamer.
Gotcha.
Keeping that distance of, I am the leader here.
Yep, I'm above you type thing. Very shrewd.
But he does seem friendly enough. And, as you draw closer, right. Introductions? What are your names? Who enters my hall?
As I said, I'm Rian Stormlight, Luskar Deliverer, my daughter Miri, and points up onto his shoulder.
Hi.
A Felgren, False Fae.
Krellick will remove his helmet. Krellick Steelforge.
Steelforge.
I
That's not a name I've heard for a bit.
for a bit.
For a bit. I run a clan of dwarves, I've got a variety, as it were. Battle hammers, for the most part, as this is the hold named for them, but... Anyway, continue, little one, and he motions to Tivini.
She looks up from where she's like sketching the throne and goes,
I am Divini. Divini Albright.
And he kind of is looking over your sketch pad as you work. Artist or craftsman?
Blacksmith.
His eyebrows raise in surprise. Can you even lift a horseshoe?
Yes.
Krellick's gonna motion to Tavini and then tap his armor.
Oh, nice.
Ah, right. Well, A pleasure to meet you, lass. And if I'm not mistaken, I recognize that holy symbol on your chest.
She touches Moradin's symbol and she goes, yes, I am cleric of Moradin.
Perhaps I was a little hasty in poking fun. And is, that one of your creations as well?
He motions to Dreamer.
No, that is... He is a friend.
No, he talks too much.
I'm a person,
He's kind
too.
of looking expectantly at Dreamer.
Don't worry, Dreamer. I think you talk just enough.
Say hi.
Hi, I'm Dreamer. I do my little wave.
He gets there. He gets there. It takes him a
Little
minute.
Baymax wave.
It takes him a minute, but
Yeah. We're not 100% sure if it's like he needs to get warmed up or what, but yeah.
well, he looks at things a lot. He just looks and doesn't say anything. It's maddening.
Dreamer will look at Felgrin.
Just see like that. Anyway, sorry.
We have lots
Sorry
of
when
fun, in case you hadn't noticed.
when I start talking about Dreamer, I get frustrated. Excuse me.
I can see and sense that a little.
Kind of motions between the two of you and gives Krellick a look like, are they serious?
I think the look on Krellick's face is pretty much explanatory. Yes.
Like closed-eyed nod that Grin did earlier. So, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, this is...
Right. Well, you have my blessing to stay in the hold. You have Hruna.
And he kind of motions to the trio in the back, who did not approach the dais as the party did.
You can see to that. But if you are staying for a few days, I may have work for you.
Just the night.
For now.
And kind of sense the disappointment, but he nods.
We have
Yes.
elsewhere to be.
That isn't to say we won't hear the job.
Hi. Yeah, what happens to be the job? I mean, we're going to be in the area for quite a bit. Maybe we can round ourselves back around here at some point.
Well, I have a problem with one of the halls here in the valley that we've not been able to access for some time. There is a place here, the Halls of Black Ice, that are riddled with a mineral called Chardolin. It is not something my dwarves and I have been eager to approach and rid the place of, but I have acquired something recently that should take care of the overabundance of this element.
And he sticks his thumb and a forefinger in his mouth and gives a sharp whistle. And from the ground beside you, Tavini and Dreamer, emerges what appears to be a circle of spikes about 2 feet across, slowly joined by a stony body with bright red coloration that starts to pull itself with a clawed arm out of the floor. A bright yellow eye, about as big as your head, Tavini, opens at your eye level as what appears to be a round, stony body with 3 legs and teeth on top and 3 arms emerges to stand beside the party.
Is that?
What the...
I'm with these guys. What the hell is that?
Roll me a
Why
Arcana
couldn't you
check.
Make it normal looking. All right.
Like, Dreamer, do you know who he is? Is he any relation to you?
Yay! I didn't roll like crap.
Let's see. I did. Grin with a 12, Rian with a 6.
Yeah, so you find yourself staring at a Zorn. Felgrin got the 12 here, so I'll explain it to him. You find yourself staring at what appears to be a young Zorn with brilliant red coloring on its body. Bright yellow eyes, again about the size of Tavini's head, on a few points of the body, all surrounding a mouth that, instead of being on the front of the face, appears to be atop its head, almost as if it were wearing a crown of teeth. I will post a picture in the Discord.
What the?
Yeah, I looked that up too.
This is Zorn. You are looking at a young one of these. It is a very, very odd-looking creature.
That is wonky. For anybody at home,
I know, right?
Well, it's been explained. Yeah, it's like a rocky body, one big eye, kind of in the chest. Yeah, like if there was like no head, and the neck was surrounded by teeth. And that's the mouth, and then 3 arms and 3 legs, just tripod style on top and bottom. It is weird.
So he's an elemental.
Hi, this is Ruby.
Ruby.
She's going to be cleaning up the Chardolin for us. But the hall itself, there are creatures within, undead, that I would need dealt with before I sent something so young and precious as her in.
Precious is a word for it.
And she is easily shorter than Rian, shorter than you, Felgrin, a little bit taller than Krellick, and about 3 times as wide.
So...
She is a very chonky girl.
She's a thick-ass girl.
Let me see if I understand the plan. The plan is we go in, dispatch the undead, and then Ruby eats the rest?
From your left, where this creature appeared, the voice that emerges almost sounds like boulders grinding against one another.
Eyes will go wide.
And yet it has a bit of a high voice, like a young girl.
Oh
God. In spite of all of that.
I eat Chardolin.
Oh my God.
Oh, she is precious.
Oh, yes.
Precious stones? And she kind of works her mouth hungrily and is looking at you, Rian, with that eye.
He's got that, like trying to fight it, but kind of got that, not disgusted look, but, the, what the fuck look on his
uneasy.
face. Yeah, just, eyes kind of up, his face scrunched up a little bit, and just kind of still smiling and just nodding at her. Yeah, precious.
Well.
I eat.
Yeah, you sure do.
Chardolin?
Chardolin.
Very good. Well, as we said, we may have to take care of this after.
Hey. Well, how close is, real quick, how close is this to the cairn? This hall? Is it down here, or do we have to travel through the valley to get to it?
No, you'll find it on the eastern end of the valley, a little ways north of here.
Aye.
So we'll pass by it on the way.
Well, yeah, that's what I was just thinking, though, is, I don't know
Yes.
this, obviously, but this is me going meta, but could it be that if this place is full of undead, and it's supposed to be some special place that they were, some hall, do you think maybe the adventurers were going there? It's right next to the cairn, so I guess I don't know. We don't know the area well enough.
There's some exploration to do now, isn't there?
Yes, there is, so...
Whoa!
Yeah.
Well,
It's almost like the game is about exploration.
well, maybe come morning, old boy here could tell us.
Ooh, that's a good call.
He would say, boy?
And the dog barks happily, its voice echoing through the hall.
Always funny.
Just doing it to get him to bark.
Yes.
He trots over to you, Felgrin, and does that thing that big dogs do, where he's leaning against your legs and just looking up, panting for pets.
You're almost something I like. You just kind of pat it on the head awkwardly.
Yeah. Like petting this big, dumb, stupid dog. Thunk, thunk, thunk.
Well, I suppose we could at least stop by in the morning?
I mean...
But
it's on the way.
We make no promises.
We should head to the cairn first.
That's...
Hey, absolutely. Ruby doesn't have to come with us, right? Like, we can clear this place out and then just let you know and Ruby will head on in there, right? Or is she supposed to?
Oh, we would certainly send her after.
Okay.
She's too delicate to send down as she is
Yes,
Aye.
without it being cleared first.
very delicate.
Okay. So, that's good then.
I, delicate, eat stones.
Oh my god.
You sure do.
So creepy. That's so creepy.
Asshole.
Okay, let's go try and get some sleep, I suppose.
Aye.
We do appreciate the hospitality.
Yes. Well, as I said, Hruna here can arrange things for you. If you need additional assistance in assisting with matters at the hall, my daughter, and he motions to the sort of younger dwarven woman standing beside him, is available to assist.
I was thinking concubine, I was way off.
Did you say that out loud?
God.
Did you?
Yeah.
He's struggling. I was say he's struggling on whether he wants to do it or not.
He's gotta do it, right?
So on hearing
Yeah.
that,
I think as soon as he does it, I think even Rian's like, Grin!
I think he
Jesus.
bares his teeth. He's like, yeah. Like even he knows it was bad.
I think Krellick's got the I'm getting too old for this shit look on his face.
I think he just kind of puffs out his cheeks and bows his head down.
so while Dane Stokely is kind of an older dwarf with gray beard and black streaks in it, the woman standing behind him is fair-haired with brilliant green eyes. And on hearing this comment, her face darkens.
Oof.
And you could see that for a dwarf, you know, by their standards, she is a beautiful, stocky lass. But you can hear the creaking of the armor that she wears as her fists tighten. And she kind of lifts her chin, and you could see a flash of anger in those pale eyes.
I am so sorry. My friend doesn't seem to have a filter between his brain and his mouth sometimes, and he's also mildly challenged. Also, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but he's a little slow on
That
the
is
uptake,
not true.
So.
You know, I find that an axe between the brain and the mouth often does the
And
job.
I think Rian's like rubbing at his temples. He's like, I have considered
I'm
that.
not surprised by that solution. Seems fitting.
Yeah, he's
In
he's
Dwarven, I think Krellick's
But-
just gonna be
Yeah.
like, his brain's kinda broke.
I think Stokely interjects at this point, and his expression, he'd been friendly before. Now there's a bit of iciness in that demeanor. I think a day is what we can do for you.
Aye, that's more than enough. We'll see ourselves out before Grin can talk anymore.
I trust you will.
Again, sorry. We'll look into the hall if we have extra time. I'm sorry. He's like, Hruna, can we please get out of here?
I think after that we're gonna have to make time.
I mean,
And Hruna, you can tell, like, her expression is perfectly neutral, but amidst that smoker's rasp is a hint of laughter that she is desperately trying to suppress.
I can take it from here. Boys, go see to your families and your gear.
She leads you to some sleeping quarters a couple of minutes away from the sort of throne hall within the keep. And again, you are struck by the difference in the dwarven population here within Battlehammer Hold, as opposed to what it is on the surface. These people are very obviously, as they go about their business, you know, making trade, doing errands, there's small children playing. It almost seems that they are unaware that the sky above has been plunged into perpetual night. It is a little disarming. Haruna leads you to a series of chambers deep within the keep that, though dusty, have beds and chests within. It almost seems to be a barracks, a hallway of empty rooms on either side.
These, population here isn't as large as it could be. There's about 150 dwarves living here, and we've room for easily as many again. Make yourselves comfortable in this hall here.
We greatly appreciate it once again. Thank you. Thank you for taking us in for tonight.
So, concubine?
She raises an eyebrow at Felgren.
They seemed relaxed. That's all I was saying. What? You didn't think it for a second. Please.
I did, but I didn't say it out loud.
Yes, well, that part was regrettable. Sometimes I can't help it. But it's just...
But why? Why can't you help it, my friend? Like, no one else seemed to... I think about everybody had the thought, she didn't look anything like that man. I didn't assume it was his daughter. I thought maybe a wife, concubine, something along those lines, but didn't. Say it out loud, just in case. It's like when you see a woman with a belly, you don't just yell, oh, when are you due?
You don't?
No, you'd never say that, Grim. You have to know this. You're...
It's a compliment.
No, it's not. It's not at all.
Well, what would you prefer me say? Hey, fatty.
No, you don't say anything at all. You say, hello there, miss. How are you doing today?
Curly's gonna walk back out in the hall. He can't do it. He's gonna go light his pipe.
You think she'll forgive me?
I'm sure.
You'll find a way. She was pretty.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
Nothing at all. Just... You seem to squirm out of anything anyway, so just do what you do best, and I'm sure it will all work out for you.
I think what's best is probably avoiding her and any, acts she may have.
That might be wise, and thank God you came to that conclusion. But let's get some rest.
Oh, well, it is hard,
nice not to have
considering how challenged I am.
I was just trying to overstep you. I know you're not challenged, but sometimes, Grin.
He just smiles. He just smiles at you.
Yeah. He just shakes his head and walks away. He's like, it'd be nice for one night not to have to stay up watching something coming at us. So,
well, enjoy it. I don't think I have the luxury.
Like, maybe, don't worry, Dreamer will be watching for you.
Good. It's comforting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant watching you.
Yes, I know what you meant.